Needle in a Time Stack Through the Lens of A Course in Miracles is a fascinating exploration of time, memory, loss, special relationships, and the temptation to believe that salvation lies in changing the past. The film's central premise is that people can alter timelines and rewrite history. Memories shift, relationships change, entire life stories can be rearranged. From an M perspective, this immediately raises a profound question. If the past could be changed, would peace finally be found? The Course answers no. Not because changing circumstances is wrong, but because suffering does not ultimately come from the past. It comes from the mind's interpretation of the past. The ego's favorite strategy is, if only that had happened differently. If only I had met someone else. If only I had not lost that relationship. If only I had made another choice. If only time could be reversed. The ego places salvation in a different timeline. Holy Spirit places salvation in a different interpretation. That distinction is the heart of the movie. Nick spends much of the film trying to hold on to a relationship that appears threatened by changes in time itself. Yet beneath the science fiction is a universal human experience, attachment to a particular outcome. The ego says, this person is my happiness, says no person can be the source of your happiness because what you truly are was never incomplete. That doesn't make love less meaningful. It transforms its purpose. The movie beautifully illustrates how special relationships can become battlegrounds of possession, longing, fear, and comparison. A special relationship says, I need you to be a certain way so I can be okay. A holy relationship says, I join with you in remembering what we both are. Much of the tension in the film arises from trying to secure love through circumstances, yet circumstances keep shifting. Timelines change, memories change, histories change. This mirrors the Course's observation that everything in the world of form is unstable. The ego seeks permanence where permanence cannot be found. One of the deepest themes reflected in the movie is the unreliability of memory. The Course goes so far as to say that the past itself is not what we think it is. We continually reconstruct it through present interpretation. In Needle in a Time Stack, that process becomes literal. Characters remember different versions of events. Their histories are rewritten. What once seemed certain becomes uncertain. The film externalizes something that happens psychologically every day. We don't merely remember the past, we reinterpret it. And those interpretations shape our present experience. The rival character Tommy is especially interesting through an ACIM lens. His attempts to manipulate timelines resemble the ego's obsession with control. The ego believes, if I can rearrange external conditions, I will finally feel whole. Yet even when conditions change, dissatisfaction often remains. Why? Because the underlying belief in separation remains untouched. The Course would suggest that the problem is never the timeline itself. The problem is the belief that our peace depends upon the timeline. Another powerful theme is forgiveness. Not forgiveness as condoning behavior, not forgiveness as being morally superior, but forgiveness as releasing the demand that reality conform to personal preference. Throughout the film, characters are confronted with versions of life they did not choose. That is everyone's experience in one form or another. The question becomes, can love remain when the script changes? Can peace remain when expectations collapse? Can identity remain when memory shifts? Answer's yes. But not the identity built from stories, only the identity that exists prior to all stories. The title itself, Needle in a Time Stack, can be viewed symbolically. The ego searches through endless layers of time looking for the one moment that explains everything, the one mistake, the one loss, the one decision, the one turning point. But the Course invites a radically different direction. Instead of digging deeper into the time stack, it invites us into the present. Not because the past never seemed real, not because grief never felt painful, but because healing occurs now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, not in an alternate timeline, now. By the end, the film can be seen as a meditation on one of the central teachings of ACIM. Love is not found by perfecting the past. Love is found by releasing the belief that the past has the power to define what you are. The ego keeps searching through timelines for the missing piece. The Holy Spirit quietly points to the present moment and says, nothing real has been lost. Nothing real is waiting in another version of time. What you seek is here. beneath the stories, beneath the memories, beneath the timelines themselves.